Hello everybody, how are you? This is Jacob Shekrel here, and I'm talking from Valencia, Spain, and I have a message for you. How many times have you failed? How many times you have ideas and it didn't work out? How many times you tried to do something and nothing worked? I had several of them. Actually, my biggest change in life started happening just because of my biggest failure. Not really exactly failure, it was my biggest crisis in life. My biggest crisis in life there were 5 things that caused me those 5 crises that each one was big enough. All of them happened at the same time. And that changed my life. During a year and a half, I went what I called in a cave, but actually it was a prison. The prison which was in my mind. Now that was not a physical cave, but it was dark like in a cave. It was totally dark, pitch dark, nothing you could see. And every step that I made, I fell down. Every step that I made, I fell again and again and again. It's all happened. There was divorce, a child that was born from a relation, but not really necessarily the relation. The child is great now, I love him, he's big, he's elderly now, great. But when it happened, that was a crisis. And then I had a business which I created from scratch, from not knowing even the industry that was in the textile industry. And I came from idea. I was in the States, and in Orlando I did my instructor diving course, and I saw a product and I came with an idea, and that idea became a business, a huge business. And it was amazing. And then 5 years later, because of situation, nothing to do with me, that I couldn't even control, geographical changes, geographical changes, and my business collapsed. And I had to bring, the months before, I used to bring money from every month to the business just to support it, because I've created everything. I have employees there. And it collapsed. And when it collapsed, I went to all of the suppliers which gave me products and things like that, and I said, listen, I'm going to close the business. I don't want to cause you a problem. So I want to give you, let's say, or you give you some money, or take back the products which you gave me. But I'm closing and I don't want to affect you. So I did it. And eventually I left for myself the last thing, which is the bank, which 6 months earlier I took a big loan, which is a big loan for a business. It was about $20,000 loan for a business to invest in a machinery which I was thinking of expanding the business. And 6 months later, I decided I'm closing the business, and I had to sell back again to the same shop where I bought that machinery, and I lost again because it took it it was a second hand already, 6 months old. Not much work, but a second hand. So I had to return it back. But still I had the loan which I had to go to give to the bank, back to the bank. It was a couple of things which I needed that money, that invested of money to invest in a show that we were together. And it was all it's a running business, isn't it? And then I went to the bank and I said, look, I'm closing the business and I want to pay you in installments. I want to give you back the money. I'm backing everything. I'm taking responsibility. I'm not trying to avoid. I'm not trying to escape. I'm not trying not to pay you. And the guy who was there, he was not the manager who gave me the loan. He said, I got offended by you because 6 months earlier you've been here, you said that you're going to Florida. I said, what? Is that your bank is your father's and I did something? Would you think I want to close it? Do you think I feel good about it? Do you think this is my baby, this business? And I had to close it. And so I'm sending it to the department, the lawyer departments, and they start suing me. And it was about $25,000. And in a year and a half, which I couldn't deal with that, with all the installments, with all the whatever it is, it became like about $75,000 that I had to return in a year and a half. And during that period of time, the bank held everything. Even the house which I was supposed to give to my wife for our divorce and to change the papers, I couldn't do anything. They already put the hand on it. They couldn't do anything with that, but just held everything. So I couldn't even move with that. In my life, that moment when I saw that I cannot control anything, I decided to do the right thing, the only thing I could think of, ending my life, suiciding. And I was there, and I had a friend that used to come and visit me every day, or used to call me at least just to make sure that I won't do any nonsense. And I closed myself in a house for several months because I didn't know how to respond. That's a crisis. That's a huge crisis. It put me on my knees. It put me in the mud. My face, I couldn't see anything. But one day, I was inspired. I got understanding. I just understood that basically everything there is my responsibility. I understood that my kids from my marriage, I love them more than what I'm afraid of the crisis, of dealing with the crisis. And I said, no, I'm staying here. I'm going to fight. And when I understood that it's my responsibility, and I understood something else. I understood that we cannot control anything. We don't control anything in our life. Everything is controlled, whatever you want to call it, God, universe, whatever you want. That's fine. We don't control it. We think, we hope, we want to control our life, but it's not in our hands. Nothing to do with us. We just need to respond. We just need to react to things and start doing the best that we can do. And then when I understood those things, those three things, which I love my kids more than I'm afraid of the problems, that it's my responsibility and I don't have any control, I start seeing the light at the end of the cave. And I got the answers, and the other one, and the other one, and I solved everything, and one day I found myself, I'm standing out of the cave. The cave is behind me. And I'm seeing the light. And I understood one thing. I understood that now I can do everything. You see, I'm getting emotional. Let me just drink something. And yes, that was part of my story. That's my story. That's where I fell down. That's where, from there, everything went up. I decided that those years I lived in Israel, and I decided I'm moving out to Spain. And I moved to Spain. Now I'm living here almost 19 years, almost getting to 20 years. And when I came to Spain, I knew no one. I never been in Spain before I came over here. I didn't speak even the language. I didn't speak Spanish. Never been here. Don't know anything. But I decided, because there's a law in Spain that those who were families that were expelled 500 years ago can return back and live in Spain. Fine. So I heard that rumor, and it was those days, about 20 years ago, it was a rumor. And I moved to Spain. I was not even legal. And in 9 months, I created a business. I started checking how I'm becoming legal, but I was not legal yet. And I created a business. And what I created was a diving business. And invested money. All that time I already got. I took even my pension out. And I brought that money. That was my basic to start the company. And I started the company. In a year and a half, it doubled. My income doubled what I invested in the business. And it was a huge business. It was a huge diving center. It was the biggest one in the area in the Costa Blanca. I had 200 square meter. I cannot translate it to feet, whatever it is, but it was big. And I had 2 compressors, and I had a classroom, and I had a shop, and I had toilets, and a special boat, which was the best boat at the area. Okay, with a rib with in-boat diesel engine. That was amazing. And I'm crazy as I was, like doing the things, even not, if paddies allow me to take 4 people in tri-dive. I used to say to my instructors, you're taking only one at a time. But we're working 4 times harder, but we had a better clients. But we nailed everyone who had feared. We could help him get over fears. And guess what? People came back for the courses. So it went up. It rocked up. Being crazy, being different, doing things different. It worked. History. Searching for the light, no? Isn't it? So that was the life what I lived. And now I came with idea. I've been in the 10X event in beginning of February it was, in Miami with Grant Cardone. And 2 months earlier, Grant Cardone said, he did a video and he said, listen guys, whoever wants to invest and to give gifts to all of the participants, there were 35,000 people there in the event, he is welcome, contact us and we see how we can do that and everything fine. And I said, well, 35,000 people there, what can I do? It's a huge money. I said, no, I don't have. But then I thought to myself, I said, hey, stop thinking this way. You know different, you know better. Instead of thinking, why not, let's think how we can do it, how you can make it. And I came with an idea. And I came with an idea because today, being a clinical hypnotherapist and mental strategist, I had to tell it to myself. I had to tell myself, think different, do it different way, something else. And I came with an idea. And I said, I'm going to give a free session, a free audio of 17 minutes of self-hypnosis to help every person there to change the mind, the old mind limitation that they have in the subconscious mind, and to help them to increase their self-confidence and self-esteem for free. But the question was how I'm giving it. So I said, okay, to print any brochure with idea and with the links so they can register and get it. I said, fine. So I came with the idea. And I came with the idea and we printed all these notes, all that money. As you can see, I'll show you one. $149 value. Okay, that's what it's the value of this session. And I made it as a note. And on the back, it was written the link and all the concept or where they can register and the explanation what they're getting. And I contacted and I got an email from Grant Cardone's office saying, send us the sample. I sent them a sample. I printed in the States. So I sent them a sample and there was silence. So I called once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. I came a few days, I landed in Miami a few days before and I said, okay, I'll call them the night before I'm flying. And I called them. There was a silence and then I got a phone call. I said, we didn't ask you to print them. That's not our problem. I said, yes, but that's sorry, but we're not giving it. I said, fine, okay. So I'm now going to give those notes, those bills, I'll take with me. And I'll give it to the people in the event. 35,000, no, I won't be able. So I start giving, and I gave about roughly 1,500 notes like this. And guess what? When people getting for free something, most of them are not registering. And this idea, this concept, basically is telling you that you can start changing your life. Start changing the limitations. Let me explain you something. Let me explain you some idea, some concept, what happens in the mind. What we want to achieve, what we want to have in our life is in the conscious mind. That's where we do it. That's where we decide. I want. In the conscious mind, we're also getting the decision. I want, I don't want. I like it, I don't like it. But when you decide, I want to have something, I want to have $1 million, I want to have $100,000, whatever you want to achieve, I want a car, I want a house. When you set your goals, that's in the conscious mind. But what prevents you from achieving that goal that you set to yourself is located in your subconscious mind. Because one day, maybe when you were a child, you wanted the ice cream or a toy or something, and your father told you, what do you think? I can give you everything that you want. I'm working hard for the money. I don't have the money. And that went inside. That went inside your subconscious mind. And every time that you're coming to do something, it's coming up, it's floating up from your subconscious mind. So how you can achieve your goals today as an adult, that when you want to achieve something, something which is big, something which is huge, how you can achieve it if you won't get over of those old limitations that you have in your subconscious mind? How would you do it? Law of attraction. Really? Try it. I studied with Bob Proctor. I'm a student of Bob Proctor. I did 3 courses with him, 3 huge courses with him. And I've seen many people who studied and finished. And I'm saying just him, because it's not Bob Proctor. It's not what he says, good or bad. The concept. If you want the law of attraction, basically you're saying, I want to achieve something. The law of attraction is talking with you about the energy. It's just like a radio station. You need to dial exactly, to be accurate when you're setting the station, like to the same frequency with the broadcast station. And if it's not the accurate, so you're going to hear noises, if you hear anything. And when you're talking about the law of attraction, you say, I want something, I want $1 million. Are you set on the same frequency of the $1 million? Because if you're not, and you're just $10,000, that's your frequency, then you're not going even to see the $1 million. You'll be always limited in your mind. That's the law of attraction. You need to know how to set yourself. And where do you set yourself for that? Saying in the conscious mind, I want, and then I'll repeat and repeat and repeat, and I'll get it. More likely that no, you can try it. But more likely that it won't happen. So you can waste a year, 2 years, 3 years trying, or disappointed and give it up. What I'm talking here, by giving this, what I'm talking here is the way to change your limitations in your mind. And this is free. Now, you can take it, like many people took it there, 1,500 to almost 2,000 people took it in the event. Very little small numbers registered. And it's free. I'm not charging anything on it. Why people are not doing it? Why people are not really focusing on it? Why? Because they miss something in their understanding. Maybe they forgot. Maybe whatever story. Maybe. But I'm saying always those who come in are the right people. Because I don't want to work with anyone. If you take the scale from -10, 0, and +10, I don't work with people who are from -10 to 0. I like to work with from 0 to +10. Why is that? Because those from -10, their mind is so negative that they try to convince you that they're right and you're wrong. But those in 0 say, I want to get to +10. They say, fine, I know what I want. I don't know how to do it. Help me, show me the way. And that's exactly where I'm coming in. Guys, listen, it's a long video, I know. It's almost 20 minutes. And I'm telling you the story, I'm telling you this story because I want to give you the link. I'm not going to send each one of you these notes, okay? I have 50,000 of them, but I'm not going to mail them. But I want to give you the link, and you decide if you want to go in, to register, and start listening every day using a headset. Just listen to it, and you see the effects. Give it a chance, give it a try. I hate the word try, by the way. But give it a try and see if it can affect your life, if it's really changing your life. And I can promise you, I can assure you, it's going to change your life. So this is Jacob Shekrel. I hope that you're going to register, because below this video, I'm going to put the link. I hope it will go, this 20 minutes video, on wherever I'm going to publish it. So I'm looking forward to see you there with me. Take care. Bye-bye.